Oh my goodness, we about to get at it one more time, one more again. Team No Sleep, October 19th.
Yes, sir.
Getting close to your boy, one more time around the sun, or is it around the moon? So I don't know, something like that.
And round both of them. How about you go round both of them?
Man, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Next week, your boy will be. I'm not gonna say the number. I'm not gonna say, but yes, sir. Montel
You're
Allen,
gonna
how
be
you looking,
wiser.
man?
That's all. You're gonna be wiser. That's all you're gonna be. Next
Uh,
next week, next week you're gonna be wiser.
Season,
Yeah,
most season. That's
yeah.
what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
So talk to me, man. You doing all right? What's going on in your world? Let's talk about before we get into our stories. Let's talk about
Yes.
your kids. I mean, let's talk about how they doing. I mean, because you got
Great.
coaches, you got players.
Hey,
Let's talk about
hey,
some of that right there.
great, man. Family's doing good. We blessed, man. My older son, he's coaching at Lehigh. They're not having such a good season, but he's doing his thing, and he's about to be another father of two, about to have another grandson, so on
Love
the
it,
way. So
love it.
proud of that. My other son's doing his thing in Southwest Minnesota State, playing. I'm getting a lot more playing time, showing what he can do, and really excited about the finishing up the season. Hopefully, we can finish strong and make a bid for the playoffs. And daughter's playing basketball. My youngest daughter's playing volleyball, and my middle daughter's just an artist. So we good in the Allen household, man. We
Man,
all
I
in.
need jerseys. All right, I
Yeah,
need some of the Allen family jerseys, man. So I can rock that. I'm definitely rocking the Focus, but I need some Allen
absolutely.
family jerseys. I've seen
Absolutely. And I got
people.
my focus shirt. You know me. I don't wear it too often, but mine's right here, man.
Come on,
I
put
keep
that
the
up there on
focus.
the
I keep
screen.
the
Hold
focus
on, wait a
on deck.
minute. Show it to the people.
Yeah,
Hey,
man. I keep the focus shirt
hey.
on deck. You know what I'm saying? I keep it on deck. So it's right there. It's right there in your finger reach, man. So I'm always there for the focus and keep it on there. I like that. That's why I want to wear it when I'm crispy. When I see you next time in
Yes,
person,
sir. Yes,
I want to be
sir.
able to have that and put that on. So, but
We gonna
every
do
man,
that.
we blessed, man. How about yourself? How's the kids doing? Oregon State, UCLA, how
Yeah,
they doing
so
out there?
I'm a weave Oregon State into the discussion a little bit because when we
Mhm.
talk about Alabama, but yeah, they doing their thing. So college is well. So any parents out there who got kids in college or had kids in college know what it is like, and they're finding their own. They're doing their thing. So it's a blessing for sure. A lot of
Yep.
activity. They just need to stay in them books. Isaiah, I don't know if you
Oh,
watch it, but stay in them
you
books,
you
boy.
you know what I tell people? College is the perfect area for kids to mature
Yeah,
and still have that little wiggle room. If they make a mistake, they okay.
a little bit of
It's
wiggle
that
room.
that's that. Yeah, they got that little wiggle room. If
You
they make a
know,
little mistake, they're gonna be okay. But I'm saying that's the best breeding ground. And I mean, any university. If a kid can
that's
go to
true.
school, university, you want a place of learning, place of common ground. I know people always try to say it's a waste of money, but it's not a waste of money. It's an area for you to mature and grow.
Truth.
And I think it's one of the best. It's one of my best experiences I've ever had in my life. It's one of my best experiences my wife had in her life. I think it's just a really wonderful experience for kids to at least have that option. Maybe not go, but have that opportunity and that
Yeah,
go ahead
that's true.
and do it.
That's true. That's a blessing to even
Yeah.
have the option. That's what's up.
Yes.
Let me say what's going on to the people in the room here. Seniors in the building. We can officially get started. Oh my goodness, what's going on, sir? Chief is here. Oh my goodness, I got the community is here. Jim is in the building, man. Welcome to you, sir. Glad to have you. See, he gonna start. He gonna ask about them Lakers. Don't do that.
Woo, wow,
See,
we can
no,
talk
because
about them off the back.
he
We'll
wanted
get
to talk
that.
about Westbrook. He wanna know why Westbrook coming off the bench and why he not participating in the in the huddle
We'll,
up. We can go into that if you want to.
we'll go into all that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, your boy Westbrook is just not there. Hey, what's coming? We got folks coming in from my boy Tall Boy Show. Good to see folks here. Listen, that's what it's all about: community and sharing the love. DJ Rob, oh my God, I need this man to cut a new theme for us. Yeah, we need to find out how much it costs, Rob, for family to family to get maybe a new theme
Yeah.
song for Team
Yeah,
No Sleep.
we need that Barry and Pop.
No,
Maybe,
yeah, this man. Hey, I'll send you a clip of what he did for some other folks. Yeah, he know what he's
Okay.
doing. He know what he's doing for sure. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. We got we like to start so folks that are new. We talk about the social impact story first, really to kind of not necessarily get that out of the way, but we like to spend as much time as necessary talking about all the content and all the items that matter. So rarely will we talk about a score. Rarely will we talk about LeBron's shoes. Rarely will we talk about anything of that nature, but we definitely want to get into what's going on. And Alabama, this is a multifaceted story right here.
Mhm.
right? You know, Alabama and Tennessee, great game. My goodness, great, 52-49. It
Mhm.
was 15 years since the Volunteers beat Alabama. Tennessee beat Alabama at home. I mean, so all this right here, this is all just building up to the event and to the excitement. You know, Saban is out there whining and crying, and his team is not. They came with the L.
Mhm.
That's a huge thing right there, just for the sport, people who love sports, people who love college football, people who understand the legacy and the dynasty. We're going to talk about, you know, is this the end of an era as well for Saban and things of that nature. But listen, after the game, that turned out to be what you expect. Fans rushed the field.
Mhm.
Fans rushed the field, especially all those Tennessee fans said, "Listen, we got them. We won. We're gonna tear this place up, but we're gonna be respectful because it's our house." Even though they took down both goalposts, and the goalposts ended up in the streets. And I say I'm bringing this back to my son who's at OSU because he just had his homecoming game and they won. And
Mhm.
I sent, you know, he sent me, or his friend sent me, a Snapchat of him storming the field, right? And just in happiness. And I was telling my parents last night at dinner, I said, that's the D1, not even just D1, that's the college experience right there. When your team
Mhm.
wins a huge contested fight, get out there on that field, storm the field, whatever, do that, be respectful. Yeah, it's wrong, but you know, go out there and do it anyway. The problem is we had an issue. Wide receiver for Alabama was in one of those states, like Devontae Adams was, right? Gladiator just getting off the field, didn't win their game, hard fought, 52-49. Jermaine Burton ends up. I don't even want to say punching. I'm seeing so many stories. One saying that he punched, one saying that he slapped. One,
Nah.
you know, I'm
Yeah.
seeing a whole bunch of stuff, right? I didn't even really see where he put his hands on this fan that hit the field was all as bad, right? I
Mhm.
almost, and I'm trying to find it while we talk about it, but I want you to start talking while I find the actual video.
Yeah, yeah. I
The
saw
the
the vid. I saw the. I saw the. Actually, saw the video earlier. He mushed her. I don't know if it was a slap or a
yeah,
punch,
talk about that.
but he
Okay,
definitely he mushed her. He mushed her face as he was walking down. Now, I think kind of the content of the whole situation was a little bit different, and you'll be able to see it in the video. So he's right there.
right there.
He sticks his hand out and kind of just pushes her in the face as he's walking off. Number one, he should have been already in the locker room already. To be
Yeah,
honest with you,
but so
I mean, the
hold on,
melee
so hold on
came.
right here. So let me
Yeah.
pause right here. She kind of, in the excitement of running out there on the field, she kind of was trying to go one way from what I see, right? She was trying to go one way. He was coming,
Mm.
and I see that she tried to pivot and go another way, which is how she ended up being in his walking zone. I almost
Um,
don't, because I'm seeing stories saying where she tried, the fan tried to inhibit and stop Jermaine and maybe said something to him. I'm just thinking that she was out there running, she was going in one direction and then try to
yeah,
break and go to another direction. But go ahead, man. I'll keep
yeah.
playing this while you're talking.
In her defense, she's running out there to celebrate with the people. Even if she did say something to him, he should have been already in the locker room. To be honest with you, the game's already over. You know what kind of crowd this is because it's the SEC.
Yeah.
So if somebody that beat you, they beat you for the first time in 15 years, you already know this crowd is going to come down and it's going to be something really chaotic. You guys on a visiting team or a team that lost need to go ahead and get yourself out of there or get yourself out of harm's way where you're around your teammates and going. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yeah.
Number two, I don't think she was causing him any harm. She was trying to either dodge him or get out of the way, and he stuck his hand out and he mushed her in the face, which is wrong, which is
Yeah.
just flat out wrong regardless. Regardless of what he was trying to do, he was wrong 100%. But now he slapped her and he punched her in the face,
Yeah.
that
No.
didn't look like any of that happened to me. I do believe, though, you know what? You're not going to be able to stop those fans running the storming the field. You're not.
No.
It's more of a college tradition, actually. That's
Listen,
why we like
Tennessee's
college
already
so much.
said,
Yeah.
if we win again, we're gonna pay the
Yeah.
higher fine, right? They already paid
Yes.
$100,000 for that fine. They said if
Yeah.
we get fined again, it's gonna be a $250,000 fine. I think the AD or the dean of the school said, "Listen, we got it in the bank. We will pay."
We'll pay that 10 times
Right?
over. We beat Alabama again. We'll pay
Yeah. Oh
$300,000.
shoot,
We could care
man,
less.
I'd be out there on the field. Come on, you
Exactly.
just
So
would. Yeah.
yeah. So that's like a tradition for them to kind of run out there and do that things. I think One, I don't know if Alabama was prepared for that to happen because it hasn't happened to them in what we say 15 years at that
15
stadium.
years.
It hasn't happened
Yeah.
to them very often that somebody's going to storm the field after beating Alabama. I do believe Saban needs to get his team kind of together and coach them and be like, hey, if this situation does happen, we gotta get out as fast as we possibly can. Let them celebrate, and we'll do what we need to do when we get back to the locker room, so they can further not cause those kind of incidents that happen. Because again, if you're the opposite player, you got to think yourself. If you're the opposing player and just lost on the home field, and 50,000 people or 25,000 people coming, you're in the midst of all these fans. They're going to be saying crazy things to you. They're going to be talking trash to you.
Yeah.
They're going to be talking about how much they upset you and all that stuff. That right there could trigger any kind of incident. So to avoid it, let's get you guys out of here, get into the locker room, and then we'll talk about what went on in the game at that point. Because
yeah,
that's just the way things are. I mean, it's not an intentional thing. It's not something that just kind of happens. It's just, hey, these kids are going to be storming down. Aha, we beat you. F Alabama. Blah blah blah. We the champs. You get out here. You suck. They're going to be saying all those things as you're walking off. Why put yourself in that situation that have to cause an incident or to put yourself in a situation where he's in the news now over something that's kind of was unnecessary? Because he could have still walked by that girl and not put his hand out, it would have been fine, right? He had enough room to just walk by her.
So I'm right there. Let's put some onus and let's try to change it up a little bit. And folks, if you got questions and comments about this situation as well, I'm trying to play devil's advocate on both sides, right? Trying to say, yeah, listen, Gladiator out there, just like the Devontae Adams thing, right? Trying to walk off, finished, walking around with his head down because he's sad that they lost. Someone comes up in his periphery, mushes him out of the way. Who's in the wrong? Is fan wrong for being on the field? Is he wrong for putting his hands on someone? Definitely he's wrong for putting his hands on someone. But how can, especially college football, with a game like that, that's the Super Bowl right there. That's if you can beat Nick Saban in your house, right? If you can send him with his tail between his legs back home with an L, you're gonna celebrate, and you just know folks are gonna come down. I can just imagine what security was like. Come on. Right, just come on down and rest the stage. Be careful. Make sure you don't trip over yourself. But I don't know what this is going to turn into. I don't know if this is going to. I know Alabama and Coach Saban is saying they're investigating the situation. They're looking at this video that we just saw. I mean, are they going to be charges? Are there going to be some disciplinary action to Jermaine?
That's today's man.
So again, I'm picking at scabs. I want to have that discussion because I want folks to know that we aren't afraid to have both of those discussions. Go ahead.
I think that's just going too far. I mean, okay, pressing charges and doing all that stuff. Okay, he must sure he was wrong. Should he be reprimanded? Yes, absolutely, because he put his hands on a fan that he shouldn't have to. I believe that. But reprimands might be suspended for a quarter of a game or something like that. Suing him and investigating and bringing him charges, that's way out of content. This is completely different than Devontae Adams. Now, Devontae Adams, the dude jumped in front of him and he pushed him to the ground where it looks like an assault. This dude, all he did was like, get out of my face and kept moving. So the actions are completely different.
Yeah.
Now, they both deserve to be reprimanded in some capacity. I do agree with that because you don't need to put your hands on other people. But also the same things, if I'm college football, I'm not changing a thing. I'm not changing one thing. I win. I beat Alabama. My fans are going crazy. I have all these expectations.
Yeah.
I have I'm on national TV. Our loyal fans have been here through when we were down because Tennessee hasn't been good for 15 years. They only been good the last couple of years. Now we got a chance. We got a chance to go to the national championship in the playoffs now.
Listen,
I'm not going to let
AP polls have changed. Tennessee is now number 3. Alabama's all the way down to 6, and all the way. I mean, that's still high, but for Alabama, that's low.
But that's not the top 4 that goes to the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Top 4 go to the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Top 4 get all that big money that goes on national TV. That's the stage that Tennessee has put themselves in that alignment. You think I'm gonna calm my fans down that's been there? These people that travel all this and all this stuff that
there's folks that waited lifetimes for this.
Yeah, it's different. They come down and assault players on Alabama. No one was assaulting players in Alabama. They were going down there to celebrate, cheer for their squad, out of the way. And if you notice in the news, there was no incidents. There was no reported injuries of nobody. There was nothing. They were celebrating calmly like they're supposed to in a college environment, man. So I think, the crime has, the punishment has to fit the crime.
Wow.
What he did wasn't warrant of any charges or anything. It just, hey, man, you know what? We need to do a better job when situations like this happen. We got to get our team up out of here. Period.
Okay.
because other schools are going to celebrate. It's just like basketball. When Duke when they hit the game-winning shot against North Carolina, they rushed the floor, right?
True. True.
What?
All
But
right.
what you
So
notice in those
okay.
games?
So let me bring this to you, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
this is coming from my man Tony Davis. Appreciate you for being here as well. Should the venue start, or should the NCAA, or should the SEC, should they start charging fans for going down there? When again, you're not supposed to, right? If you look at the
Mm-hmm.
letter of the law, right, you're not supposed to enter the field of play. But this is one of
It's not.
this is one of them gray areas of life.
But see, you're not in play anymore. The game is over, so you're not in
That's
play
why I say
anymore.
it's one of them great
And
areas.
and,
Okay.
and the tradition of schools, like you said, you can't charge fans. This is a tradition of schools and young 18 to 22-year-olds celebrating a school pride victory. Now, we all been to school, high school, and college. We all kind of know that school pride is something. When you beat your rivalry, you have that pride thing, and everything goes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great thing. Tennessee do it. Storm the field, celebrate. Let's pay our fine that we're supposed to pay for NCAA. Let's get those goal poles up, and let's play the next team. But we just beat the juggernaut of football.
Yeah.
We just beat the team that everybody don't like to play except for Georgia. We just beat them, and we beat them handily in our house
At home
with a winning field goal, with our kicker and everybody's good. We're gonna celebrate like there's no tomorrow because we know what pastures are in the front of us. And we went out, baby, we go to the playoffs. And I don't think people realize how much money is involved when you play those games. The preliminary game, the school gets $10 million. You make it to the championship game, the school gets damn near around $25 million. That is $35 million we about to bring into just the football program alone.
You want some new jerseys and some new leather seats in the locker room? Here we go. Right, win this game.
Hey, NIL money, we want all new cars. That's what we want.
Right.
So I believe it's okay, man. I think it's okay for kids to celebrate that way and have a good time. They're not causing any harm to anybody. So I don't think they need to do anything to that point. All I know is Nebraska, Tennessee's gonna keep on winning, and hopefully they keep winning and doing their thing. And I'm glad we get to see this kind of celebration that's peaceful. Like I said, there was no one hurt.
Yeah,
no one was hurt.
I agree with that. I like the celebration piece, right? Because again, I talked to my son, I condone it. I said, listen, brother, if I was there with you, I'd have been right there with you, taking my shirt off and spinning my shirt, that kind of thing. But so let me ask you this though. Talking about the end of the era, maybe, right? Because it's been so long, and talking about Saban since day one has had an issue with recruitment, NIL type of money and things like that. And we're starting to see folks like Jackson State. We're starting to see his sons now signing NIL money with Actively Black, which is a apparel gear that I wear. I got some, and I just saw it this morning that his sons signed an NIL contract with them. So students are starting to go other places. They don't have to go to Alabama. Those top tier athletes are saying, listen, I can go to an HBCU. I can go to a D2, D3, wherever. If it's in an area where I can play and get paid, I don't need to go to Crimson Tide. Talk to me about that. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I think more so the tide has shifted, if that's a term we can use. The tide has shifted. He's no longer the intimidating big dog on the block no more. And NIL has enabled teams like Georgia. Well, Georgia was already there, but teams like A&M to steal Alabama recruits. It's able LSU to steal recruits from Alabama, where they would normally get the number one recruiting class, period, out of high school kids and so on. Now these other colleges are able to play into that mode, and NIL is playing a big part in for them landing those recruits. So now, like you just said, recruits now have options. Okay, I don't need to go to the big juggernaut no more because the power shift to me and my boys we're going to go to Texas A&M. And we're all going to get NIL money from Texas A&M, and we're going to play there. We're going to beat Alabama next year. Or we're going to go to Clemson, or we're going to go to these other big schools. So that power shift is starting to kind of happen. It's happened on West with USC, right? USC, not very good next year. Look what happened. They're 8-1. Look at UCLA now.
Look at Michigan. Think of the year that Michigan had last few years, and look at them now. I think they're still undefeated.
Look at Michigan. Michigan's now becoming a powerhouse, a national powerhouse.
Crazy.
And now we're not looking at them playing that soft schedule when they only play one hard game. They're playing some good competition, and they're going to be really formidable when they play against Ohio State. Yeah. So I believe that NIL shift is what Nick Saban was talking about, and it's now starting to come to play. Because as much as Alabama's great and how much of the great their alumni is and everything goes with it, and the TV money they get, they can't compete with that oil money in the Texas.
This can't.
They can't compete with that Hollywood money here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
They can't compete with that entertainment juggernaut that's in Atlanta and in the state of Georgia now. They can't compete with those things getting that money to them, and he knows eventually kids are going to say, well, why am I going to go to Alabama? You're only going to give me 10,000 when I can go to Georgia Tech and they're going to give me 80,000.
Yeah. And I can work on me and my brand there in Atlanta, right?
In Atlanta, in a big market, instead of being in Tuscaloosa.
Wow.
Where all this there. So let's give Nick Saban some credit. He sees the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see it. I'm only going to be able to live off this legacy for so long. I'm saying, does this loss start to deteriorate that legacy a little bit more and a little bit more work? Now he won't get a top 10 recruiting class next year. You know, and when that starts to happen, now what happens now is Alabama now in seriously trouble. I think Nick Saban's going to continue to fight to say, you know what, we need to put, you know, an umbrella or some cap around this NIL so these guys don't keep getting us. Or, you know, Nick Saban's going to say at some point, I'm no longer in the game no more. It's time for me to hand the reins over to somebody else.
So he just going to quit.
I mean, he's a legend, man. He's not going to – the ship is not going to burn it down. He ain't going to go down with a burning ship. Yeah. He's going to go down like, okay, we still floating, and then I'm going to jump ship. You know, I'm not saying he's going to retire next year or he's going to do it, but he's definitely going to go down when they get down to the 4-6 records or 3-7. He's going to be when that middle ground, when he can see like, hey, you know what? We can just not complete with these guys recruiting. I'm going to go ahead. It's time for me to step down and give it to somebody else. And that's okay. He's a legend. He's arguably the greatest college football coach ever.
True. I mean, we'll see how he answers, right? I mean, yes. and let's not sleep on it, right? They scored 49 points, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's still not bad.
So
yeah.
they still out there doing what it is that they need to do. They just barely missed this one, but we'll see how they answer next game and see if we see a pattern of if these brothers come out still with their shoulders down and their heads down and not pull out the W.
Well, I think the thing is they're gonna lose to Georgia. Georgia's by far the best team in college football.
So. Hold on. Say that. Let me put a marker right here because he said they're going to lose to Georgia.
They're going to lose to Georgia. Georgia's the best team by far in college football. They lose to Georgia and they got 2 losses. They're out of the playoffs. They're not going to be considered for the playoffs.
Y'all just going to let Montel say that, right? No one's going to argue this, right?
Because everybody, I'm right. I'm telling you, I'm right. Georgia's going to win.
Nobody got nothing to say right now. Okay.
And then if that happens. Now the shift of power really goes because no longer they're not in the top 4. They're going to be in the bowl game, which is a lot. Which not important about the money, but the prestige now starts to go away, right? So if you're not in the top 4, which are the top 4 teams that they should play in the playoffs, the prestige goes away. I can tell you right now what Nick Saban is going to do. He's going to push to extend the playoffs to either the top 6 or top 8 teams. He's going to start pushing that. Say, hey, I want more teams in the playoffs because then now I got a fighting chance if I'm not in that top 4. I think he's really going to try to push that agenda first before anything, especially if he doesn't make it this year in the playoff system. He's going to push for that extended playoffs, which is great. I think it's all good for college football. The only thing they got to shrink those games down because now you got guys playing in excess of 19 to 20 games in one season, which is too much on their body.
Yeah, that's true.
But the concept is great. I think that's a great. Expand it a little bit more. Let's get these guys in there. More teams can kind of play in and then see what happens. I think he's going to push that one. And that will work in his favor because now he could just be Nick Saban and play, and he can go 7-2, or he can go 10-2 and make it to playoffs. So that's all good. I thought they were done with the 6th year. What do you mean?
He said, I thought they were doing 6 this year instead of 4. I don't. All I've been watching is all of the shifts in the conferences. All I know is UCLA is leaving.
He's right. He's right. I thought they put that on the board, but I don't think that's officially been said that they're going 6 games this year.
Let me see.
I thought it was still 4.
I know that was part of the conversation. Just didn't know if that got finalized. Like I said, the only thing I've been watching is Pac-12, Big Ten, just all the movement that's happening that affects me in my house. I don't know what jersey to wear. I don't know if I'm wearing, baby blue or burnt orange. So
but if they do 6 teams this year, that's favorable for Nick Saban to still the legacy lasts a little bit longer.
And it's not done. I mean, who knows? Again, let's see what he does. He got a few more games to really. He's got to win them. He's got to win them in old school Alabama style. Though. I mean, he's got to blow somebody out. It's got to be.
He don't got that team. They're not built that way no more. They're not built to that. Like you saying, that defense is not as good as it used to be. So they're not. You're not that good when you're giving up 52 points a game. Sorry, you ain't that great no more.
Man.
Number two, They're not built that pound and ground. They don't have that running back like Najee Harris and those guys like they had the year before.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They don't have that. They got a quarterback. Now they got a good quarterback. They can sling the ball out of the park. But as you can see, as you can stop that, they don't have a defense that can stop somebody else from scoring. So they got a lot to work on in Alabama. And don't get me wrong, they're one of the top teams in the nation. It's just that you may not be the top 4. And if you're not a top 4 or a top 6 team,
I just don't even sound.
You're not making the playoffs. Yeah.
I just don't even sound right coming out of your mouth. Alabama is not one of the top 5, not top 4.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's keep moving. Let's get into it. Loving the discussion. We got some basketball news. NBA has officially started. So let's start there. Let's start there. Basketball news. We was watching Ja Morant put it on some of these folks earlier. Right now he's playing. We saw, all right, Jim, we saw them Lakers that didn't do too well the other day.
We just saw the Warriors do too well. The Warriors do too well.
Golden State still, they may have some things going on in the locker room, but when them boys lace them up and get out there on the court, they still know how to win together.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
right. Everybody's signing deals. Draymond hasn't signed his deal yet, but we'll see how that's gonna shape up. But yeah, Golden State put it on them Lakers. Westbrook coming off the bench. I'm leaving.
Yeah. You know what, man? He's getting blamed for everything, and it's not all his fault.
Yeah.
How could you explain this to me? How can a person he was the second leading scorer on the team last year? He still averaged a double last year. So he averaged at least 10 points and 10 rebounds a game last year. How can you average a double and still be the focal point of all the bad that goes on with the Lakers? It's not. Now does his style play fit with the Lakers? No.
Yes, definitely. That is true. That is definitely true.
But he's not the blame for all the losses and everything that's going on in the Lakers. If you want to point the finger at anybody, Mr. King James might be the person you want to point the finger at.
I was going to say Davis.
I'm saying that.
Okay.
The reason why is because he's the one that brought this team together. He's the one that wanted all this. He's the one that wanted Westbrook. He's the one that wanted Anthony Davis. He's the one that put this situation out there.
Yeah.
And since now it's not working out, it's everybody else's fault. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry.
He's gonna be the scapegoat. He's gonna be the scapegoat, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Westbrook gonna be the scapegoat. Period.
Right.
No problem. Yeah. And they trade him. If they trade him, they better be really, really that much improved and that much better if they do trade him. But let's get facts one. They won the play-in tournament. I don't call it a championship. They played in that little tournament during COVID, and the Lakers won. And everybody thought it was about to be the reign of dynasty of rings that were coming on, and now it hasn't happened. Let's be fair. That wasn't a championship. That was a tournament. High school kids stay in a hotel and play.
That was Ice Cube's Big Three. That's what that was.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the Big Three. It's a little better, but I'm saying it was a tournament. It was more of a tournament than more than the 82 game season.
True.
Find your seat and then play the game. You played 10 games in a tournament and then the bubble, and then they matched you up, and then you play a tournament, and then whoever won it, they deem that as the NBA championship. That's not a championship.
Not all the teams were even invited, so it's not right. But yeah.
All the teams weren't even show. All the teams didn't even show up. So I'm not saying that. So in my opinion, LeBron James hasn't even won a championship for the Lakers. He won a tournament, but he didn't win the championship. Hey, quote it. Matter of fact, tag him on what I just said. Yes, he won a tournament.
Bam. Just did. That's going out all over the. Hey, Justin, I see you in the building, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. Hey, when I tag and tweet this, you make sure you retweet it right there, because Montel over here dropping fire on these folks.
Well, can I say it one more time?
Go ahead.
LeBron James won a tournament for the Lakers, but he did not win an NBA championship. Tag it all y'all want. It's the truth.
Lord have mercy.
So until he wins it, until he goes through that 82 game season, gets in the playoffs and wins that championship, then I'll deem it as a championship. Otherwise, it better be a big old asterisk by that Laker championship.
Oh, now you're talking that. You didn't said that A word, asterisk. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, when they said he got 3 rings, it should be really 2.5. It shouldn't be another ring.
Oof. Put one on his pinky finger. Okay. This brother. Hey, this is my guy though. He agreed with you. So you getting love from family is family and family. Okay.
Hey, Mr. Charlie, I'm feeling you, dog. I'm telling you, that's just the reality of it. They want us to believe, hey, he won this big old championship for the Lakers. No, you won a tournament, dog. You was just the hottest team at that particular time inside the tournament and won. It doesn't constitute as a championship. So how come they always say LeBron James has 3 championships? No, bro, you got 2.5. You have two rings and a tournament trophy. That's what you should have.
Called him a terrible GM. See, y'all gonna start something up in here. Y'all.
No, but see, I'm not a LeBron hater. I think LeBron, don't get me wrong, he's the greatest athlete to play in the NBA. I think he's a great player. But I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, you this dude that's done all those things and you won for the Lakers. You didn't win one for the Lakers, you won a tournament. So let's call that what it is and keep it pushing.
You getting love all the way around, brother. See, I told you, I'm just here picking at scabs, throwing salt in wounds, just trying to get that dialogue out, trying to get these sound bites. I'm trying to get these TikTok sound bites.
Oh man!
So we can have.
Well, I'm gonna get all the King James haters is gonna mess on me, but that's okay though. I'm not. I mean, that's just my opinion.
You speaking truth. I mean, it's one of those things. Looking in the mirror, right? You speaking truth. And so the other game from yesterday that I wanted to mention as well, all of the stuff that's going on with the Celtics. They shaking it off. They won.
Oh yeah, I think their play is gonna play for itself, but I don't think Philadelphia didn't play a really good game at all. Boston seems like they're focused. They got you got to think, man. Their big three went to the championship last year. They know how to win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They kept the same philosophy because the guy was an assistant coach, so I'm sure he's not going to change so much that change what the other head coach was doing. So I think they're probably going to be on the same tilt and keep going on the same trajectory that they were going to go on, and they're going to be better because they got that much more experience.
My goodness.
Boston's going to be fine. I think like I said, Lakers are in trouble. I don't think they didn't figure out how to play last year. They don't know how to they haven't figured out this year. But it's also an unfair assessment that they went against the Warriors, right? That's not a good showman of what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But the problem is they got to go against the Clippers next. So you're going against the number 1, number 2 team. Now we're really going to see what you got. And they're already battling injuries. You know what I mean? I mean, Westbrook said his hamstring is bothering him already.
Yeah.
We already know Anthony Davis is pretty fragile as it is.
Yeah.
LeBron's not getting any younger, and the more minutes you put on that wear and tear on that Bentley, eventually something's gonna break. Something's gonna break.
You're gonna need them brakes checked. Yeah, you're gonna need them brakes.
Yeah. And then they got a mess of role players that they can't do it. The role players just can't do it for them or carry them in a long period of time. So the only thing that I think the worst person in that building is the GM because the Lakers are afraid to make a move and not trade Westbrook and try to figure out to get their team better. The GM is horrible because now they're in the salary situation. They got to make things fit, and they have no draft picks to trade to get leverage off of. So the worst guy in that whole organization is the GM as of right now. And you know what? I got to give a shout out to my boy Jerry, not Jerry Buss, but his son Jesse Buss. That's my dude. I know him personally. He's a great dude. He's an assistant guy that's coming up. He'll be taking over for his mom. Right now, the current owner of the team. So I love the Lakers family. They always treat me right every time I go to there. I love them. But we got to keep it real. Their situation right now is bad, and the GM is not making anything any better.
My goodness. All right, Jim, right there. We went in deep for you, right? You asked the question. We went extended time talking about them Lakers, man. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm not gonna hit you with any baseball questions yet.
Hey, they the purple and fold.
See.
Right now, they're the purple and fold. Yeah,
you crazy, man. You crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna hit you with some baseball in a minute, but let's get back into another unfortunate situation. One brother that's not playing, James Bouknight, right? He plays. He's on the Charlotte Hornets. He got caught up into a situation the other night, out there driving under the influence, having and brandishing a gun, getting into an altercation incident with the police there in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this is unfortunate, right? Again, young fella. How old is this man?
I think he's 22, 23. Young,
yeah,
really
just ridiculous how young he is. But, just out there, early start of the season, out there doing some things he was not supposed to be doing. He's hitting police cars because he's out there driving and drinking under the influence. So don't know how this is going to shake out, because this is, there's levels of severity. Right. Yeah. If you out there drinking and driving or doing whatever, and you run into a tree or something, you run into a parked car. OK, but now you out here, you intoxicated, you under the influence, you brandishing a weapon, then you hitting police vehicles.
I would start even before that, James. I would say,
well, go ahead. Come on.
Your position that you're in.
That's where I was going to go. Right. You are supposed to be a pillar of this society. OK, go ahead. Yeah.
There's where it starts right there.
Yeah.
Where's your accountability of being a responsible young adult?
That's where I was going. Yeah.
That's what we need to do. And it got to be something going on in Charlotte. Remember, we had the story before about the other player. I think Miles Turner, or not Miles Turner, but what's his name? He had an incident with his girlfriend, or
Yes.
he beat
Yes.
his girlfriend,
Yes.
and then now we got this situation going on in Charlotte. Something's going on in Charlotte with these young men. I don't know what it is, but they have a lot of problems with the players they're picking and are getting in trouble with the law. This guy right here, young, intoxicated, brandishing a firearm and being combative with the police officer. He's actually lucky that something bad, worse than happened. It's just him getting
Exactly.
arrested
Exactly.
in this situation. So, in my opinion, I'm hoping the player personnel as well as Charlotte Hornets hold him highly accountable to set an example. Not take, I hope they don't cut him from the league, but I hope they set an example saying, hey, we're not going to tolerate this in our organization. So, well, if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. And brandish whatever they're going to do. I think the NBA is probably going to come in into his hand. His check is going to be real light for the next couple
Oh
of months.
yeah, yeah, and
You know,
we're laughing about it, folks, just because and we smirking about it because again, no severe injuries or anything of that nature. But again, this is just one of them life lessons. And again, think about it. He's in North Carolina, and I've had it highlighted right here on the screen. North Carolina's open carry state.
yeah.
He is working. He was working on his concealed carry permit, but it wasn't concealed. So he had that with him, and the firearm was registered in his name. So there was nothing wrong in that sense. What was wrong was again being intoxicated and driving, and then running into people, running into the police car. So that was all wrong.
But
Kevin Cox in
to
the
be
building.
honest, man,
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir.
we're tired of hearing this story, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw with Henry Rugg, drunk driving athletes.
Yeah.
Why are these athletes? Why do they have to go out, get intoxicated, and drive and jeopardize not only their career but the possibility to hurt someone when they have the means to afford a driver or somebody else to come in there and take them where they need to go? I don't. That's the part. Why is it not registering?
Right. And again, right here, right. This is not his first incident.
Yes.
Unfortunately, all right. Vehicular misconduct. I'm making up charges here. Right out there speeding, going 107 in a 65 mile zone. Come on, brother. You be much smarter than that. Be much again when you a pillar of this society. You was smaller town. You people are rocking your jersey, paying money to see you. You can't be out here drunk, disorderly, running into police cars, driving over 100 in a 60-mile-an-hour zone.
But I'm saying, when are they going to learn? This is a reoccurring story with and I hate to say it, man. It's with African American athletes. At least that's the ones we don't know.
It is. It's unfortunately it's us. Yeah, it is.
I can't say it's Caucasian athletes. I don't really hear that many about them getting caught drunk driving.
We're looking at all the stories. We try to find it. Unfortunately, 90% of the stories we find are the ones that unfortunately.
It's African American young men that are getting caught up in these situations, and I'm not understanding what is not resonating with them to make them understand that, yo, you can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry Ruggs should be the poster boy of why you shouldn't do this.
Yes.
Top draft pick in the NFL, all the promise in the world, number one receiver while he was in Las Vegas, and in one night everything ended, right? Drunk driving, killed somebody, vehicular manslaughter. So why isn't that on the poster board of every professional athlete? Don't do this.
Don't do it. We know better. And just like Kevin is saying, listen, don't drive. Call an Uber, call a Lyft. You make millions of dollars per year. The squad will pay for your Lyft. If you can't afford the $19 for a Lyft limousine to take you to where you need to be.
Leave your whip there. You can buy another one if somebody had something happen to it, or have
Speak
somebody
on that,
come
man. Come on, right? That's the truth, right? Just leave it there. Go get you another one.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, there should be a situation where, okay, you don't want to call a Lyft. I get it. You don't want to do that. Why don't you got a boy driver? Why don't you hire a driver for you that night? And better yet, where's your friends telling you that you at the club with, yo, dog, you can't drive, man. You drunk.
Yeah. Who is it that you're drinking for? Because you're not drinking these 4 tequila shots by yourself. You supposedly with your people in your squad.
Yes. And me and you was in the club. And me and you was in Vegas. And we both you talking about from Southern California. We both in the club. We hanging out. And I see you drinking. And you be like, man, I'm about to go I'm about to go to my hotel. Be like, nah, man, what you doing?
You're not. I'm snatching them keys right out of your hand.
Yeah. We go ahead and scrapping before I let you go ahead and get in the car and drive, man. Just go get an Uber, man. Look, get an Uber, come pick up your car later on. That's all you got to do. Pick up your car later on, or we can figure out a way to get your car to you. But you can't drive. There's no way you're going to drive. You're not going to drive right now unless you plan on sitting there for about 4 or 5 hours and sober up. Then we may let you roll. But otherwise, you can't drive. I'm not understanding where your circle that you with is not helping you manage your lifestyle in the best way. Like, why aren't they? Like, they're stopping you from making bad mistakes. That irritates me because we always talk about we are brothers keeper.
Yeah.
We always looking out for our boys. We always doing this, but yet we continuously in those positions let them guys do what they want to do and let them get in these foul situations. It happens to our black entertainers, our hip hop entertainers, and it happens to our athletes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this, right? And because let's go and pivot and pull out that card, and Kevin brought it up as well. I hit the nail on the head there. Why are we the ones getting caught, and why is that? So not just sports, it's entertainment as well. It's all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm my brother's keeper. I'm with he's with someone out there having these 4 tequila shots. How come there is no responsibility or onus on that navigator, that wingman who's with him to say, put the drinks down, give me the keys, drink some coffee, here's some do all of that, looking out for your best interest, especially when this man is probably the leader of the squad, the one who's paying for all the drinks, paying for all that stuff.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that he's squared away and there's nothing going on in his life that's negative and going to be in the news. Why is it that we don't take care of ourselves? And why is it, again, that we're seeing 90% or higher percent of the black athletes, entertainers getting caught up in something like this? Why can't we do like the Watt brothers do? JJ and J, was it TJ? They don't never get caught up in anything. JJ keep breaking his nose. That's the only thing wrong with him.
No. But I think you're just absolutely right, man. And I brought that up for a reason. I don't understand why the circle that we in can't protect us, especially if you're the breadwinner.
Yes,
man. If you're feeding me, I'm making sure ain't nothing happening to you.
Nothing. I'm walking into the restaurant before you do. I'm making sure it's everything is squared away. I'm making sure that you straight before we get into anything.
Yeah. You straight. And when the situation comes up, yo, man, you can't do that. And let's just not blame it on. I blame it on the young ladies too that they're with. Why aren't they stopping it?
Okay, come on.
Somebody needs to be the voice of reason when they're in these situations. Be like, you can't drive, you can't do those things. Something's gonna happen. And he can be combative all he wants. I'm fine. I'm gonna do all this. Come on, be that voice of reason. Like, no, you're not. I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm not going with you. You're not driving. Period. You're drunk. Don't drive. You drunk. Even if you're not appearing drunk, but you drunk 4 shots of tequila, your blood alcohol level is so high. You can't drink. You can't drive. Come on, be smart. Think about it. Why are you putting your career in jeopardy by doing it? And not enough of their team or their circle obviously is not telling them that because they continue to do it. If you had your keys in your hand, hey, we're gonna fight. I'm gonna fight you until you give it the keys, bro. We're gonna just have busted.
And you're gonna respect me in the morning for stopping you from jumping on the driver's side of this car.
Exactly. So I'm not understanding where that circle is, man. And I'm tired of these yes men always around these guys and the circle they have with all these yes men, just letting them do whatever they want, and it's so detrimental to these young people because, man, to be honest, man, he can jeopardize everything. Really, the league is just full of basketball players. If they want to kick him out and be like, look, we can find another one just like you, I'm sure there's somebody waiting in the wings. And his whole career can be over. Why are we jeopardizing those type of things going on with these young men and these young athletes and these young entertainers? I can't fathom it. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm just older and I realize it. But even when I was younger, I would protect my people that was with me.
I think that's just because you had proper home training. Okay.
Nah, I can't say that.
No, I actually, well, then again, you did or your folks around you did, right? You did or the folks around you did.
See, the part I disagree with you is because this guy's been playing basketball all his life, right? To get to this level, this level. So he's been around people telling him all the time. He's been to seminars, coaches clinics, players clinics. They all tell you the same thing. Don't do this. Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't do this. They don't listen. I'll give you that much. He's not listening. But they tell him this this is constantly being drilled into him for him not to end up in this situation. And yet we consistently still end up in this situation. We always do. I mean, not to pivot too far off, but I mean, something that's similar like this. I've seen an interview with Ice-T, right? Ice-T, the famous rapper. He was talking about how I tell these other rappers not to be involved in gangs. What do we see? These guys still get involved in gangs. I'm not telling them because I'm trying to educate them. I'm trying to hammer it in the head. Don't get involved with LA games because the consequences are deadly.
Right.
We constantly see another rapper die every other week getting robbed in LA or some situation happen in LA. And we kind of found out there's gang activity. Same with the sports. They constantly warning these kids and tell them don't do it, yet they still do it anyway. When are we going to get it through our thick skull that certain things you can't do and you're supposed to maneuver it a certain way while you're in that profession?
What's it going to take, right? Because again, we're seeing symptoms and we're seeing kind of lighter incidents happen. What's it going to take?
It's not death. Well, we saw the worst. Henry Rugg, death killed somebody.
Okay.
We saw the worst of the worst.
Okay. So what did that do? What did that slow down, or bring about some counseling, bring about some additional conversations with anybody? Any league or any sport, because I want to bring up what Justin said right here, right? He sees like the NBA feels more of an individual sport now. Obviously, it's not. However, players fighting amongst each other like Draymond and the Get Mine mindset, that translates off the court as well. So they're only thinking about themselves, not worrying about what's going on. And then Kevin brings in, look, I don't want to be that guy that's in the squad that ends up getting cut off, right? Because I done told Montel, stop drinking, you can't drive. All right, you know what? You can't roll with us from now on. You're going to be to the curb, and me and my boys going to roll out. But is it going to take you
but
running over somebody?
If the guy told me that, I'm going to get cut off and I can't roll with him because I'm the party crasher.
Yeah.
I can respect that as a man. I can respect my man. Yeah, I can't eat filet mignon with y'all no more. But then the day I was right. And when you go to jail, when that situation happens, I'm going to be the one laughing, and you're the one going to be in the cell saying, "Damn, I wish I would have listened to Montel." Okay. That story happens a lot too. I wish I would have listened to him. I'm quite sure Henry Rugg would have said, "Damn, I wish I would have listened to them when they told me don't drink and drive," because I know somebody's told him don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Wow. Someone's told him this.
Day one coming in the league, right? Day one. That's part of the guard your money, invest your money. Don't go out there and buy all these spinning rims. I don't know if they still buying spinning rims. Again, I'm dating myself, but don't do all that. Find the right people to call your squad. Someone that's got your back. You can't roll with the same folks.
Brother, in every symposium I've ever been to, they tell you the first thing when you go out. Be careful. Be careful with drugs. Obviously, drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And be careful with the company you keep. Be careful with women, obviously, because the targets when it comes to some certain women in that industry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But definitely, the first thing they say, drugs and alcohol. Be careful with it. Obviously, don't do drugs. Don't do illegal substances. And with alcohol, do not drink and drive. Do not put yourself in a situation where you're impaired, where something can happen to you, where you could be an easy target.
Man,
we make ourselves easy targets by drinking and driving for the police.
Yep.
So
and there's brother that ran into the police cars, right, and drunk with a weapon and with a firearm in his pocket.
So again, what is it going to take? Mm-hmm. And this is a social impact, because this is a call out to all brothers as athletes and all that. What is it going to take for them to resonate in their head to say, you know what, I'm not going to do it? We college kids. We catch every once in a time, but very few often. But these pros, man, you got the money not to get caught. You got the money to be able to hire someone to get you done.
You got the money not to get. That's great.
I know they have a hotline, Tony, but you in the club, you ain't calling no hotline to come pick you up. They like, we partying, whoop, we doing our thing. Where's your homeboy saying, bro, you ain't driving, you drunk, you faded.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Tony, I may have told you that back in the day. Come on now, back in the late. In the late 80s, I may have told you not to go to the grab.
I'm like, bro, and he'd be like, oh man, I'm just around the corner, man. My crib. Nah, bro, you can't drive, man. What you gonna jeopardize millions of dollars just because you want to get to the crib? Man, leave that whip here. Let's take a cab or let's get you somewhere. But where's that? I'm saying, where's that friend? Where's that true friend or that family member to help you get through that situation to make sure you don't do anything stupid? That I'm sure Kevin Garnett was drinking in the club when he was partying, but he had a crew around him that did, hey, you ain't doing none of that. I'm sure LeBron's drunk in the club. I'm sure he's been drinking at a club, and he's a little bit over.
LeBron always drunk. He posting his own pictures of him drinking.
But his circle won't allow him to make a mistake.
They got him locked down. They got him locked. Yeah.
Or he has a driver. He's smart enough to get a driver. Those dudes, why is it not resonating to him?
All right, okay, hold on. So that just made me think of something, and I want to say, so here we go, pivoting here, but I want to say what's up. MDH is in the building. How you doing? Happy early. Well, I'm not gonna say how old, but happy early day in 2 more days. I'm gonna wish you happy birthday. Having the right folks around you. I'm thinking about the Kevin Hart situation a few years ago.
Yep.
Kevin Hart was up in Vegas. Y'all know the story. He was in Vegas, got caught up in some things. He had some crew with him. He didn't have his core boys with him. He had some other folks with him. He got caught up in a situation, got caught in a adulterous situation. That was one. And then he was out there. Kevin Hart, again, man who's got all kind of cash, right? He's got liquidity. Out there driving his car, got into an accident, right? Destroyed his car, messed up his back. He was out of commission for a long time. So again, these are folks who know better, who talk this to, who mentor this to other folks as well, who aren't as well off to do. Say, don't do this. Just say no to drugs. But again, why is it that someone like a Kevin Hart is out there getting caught up in an adulterous situation because he's going to Vegas and he's around people and he's drinking and he's driving and he's crashing his car? Again, it's just bad. It's just a bad look for folks who are not saying that they're role models, but are looking up to these people and say, man, I'm trying to get like you. I'm trying to get like these folks. And here it is, you doing the same thing. You getting caught up in these situations.
There's no argument there, man. I mean, I'm not trying to take away your fun. We're not trying to take away your fun. I'm just saying you got to be responsible when you're in that position of power not to do those things. That's just the bottom line. And I don't know if it's just being macho or being whatever you're trying to be. I'm going over the club. I'm gonna go. I could drive. Y'all can't tell me I can't drink and drive. And then all of a sudden, these situations happen. And they got to just be more responsible. Just not for me as a fan, for themselves. I'm not telling you to do this for me. I'm telling you to do this for yourself. So you don't lose out on millions of dollars. So you don't do that. So you can be able to hopefully empower somebody in the future. But I mean, I don't know what's going to take, man, with us as collective as a people being able to put that situation out there for them to stop. Just be responsible. And like I said, these professionals, man, they got money. So there's no reason. Like a broke college student that drunk and drive, okay, I'm going to give him a little bit of pass because, okay, you weren't supposed to do it, but you ain't really got no way to get home.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did it, accident. Not when you're making millions of dollars. Come on, man. You got millions of dollars. You mean tell me you can't afford a $60 cab, lock your car up? Matter of fact, you can pay the security. Look, man, I'm paid. I'm gone. Look, I'm gonna give you $300. Just watch my car, make sure nothing happened to it. I'll be back to pick up in the morning when I'm sober. And take a cab home.
Take a cab home.
What's wrong? I don't understand what's wrong with that. What's the problem with that? So
that's the dialogue. And Spoke Cheryl, appreciate you for saying that, enjoying the topic and the flow. She's not that into sports, but likes the dialogue, and this is what we get into, right? So again, we don't talk about a whole bunch of other aspects of the sport. We talk about the social impact, and these are things that you can talk about. These are those awkward conversations that not enough people are having, right? And trying to get better. Everyone, we trying to work it out. We're trying to get better as a people, as a society, as a community. Just how do we help make sure that these types of things don't happen? Because the next time this young man gets caught up at a club drinking 4 shots of tequila, he's got his gun, then he'll have his concealed permit, runs into a police car. It's not going to end up the same way. And how do we stop this domino effect? And I think the way that we do that is by having these type of awkward conversations. So MDH is saying you can have a try, but at the end of the day, it's up to the individual to listen. Oof. Come on now.
I agree, but that tribe needs to be strong enough to put them hands on him when he ain't listening.
Ooh, there you go.
That's my conversation.
Put those hands on him when he's not listening.
No, but you got. I mean, we talking about athletes, right? If you got to physically take it away from him, then you got to physically take it away from someone to save himself. But the bottom line is, there's got to be a tribe around him to protect him.
Yeah.
The tribe ain't there just to eat and hang out with him. The tribe is to protect him from harms, not only from outside, but also from himself. That's what a tribe is supposed to do. We're not protecting people from themselves.
There it is. There's the homework, folks. Call somebody, take care of your partner. You are your brother's keeper and your sister's keeper and all that. So I need at least one Pat Williams, Andre Drummond, DeMar DeRozan-esque player. Oh, okay. I see where you went. I see you going there, Justin. Right. You know, those types of folks, kind of those veterans, those folks who know better, right? And actually aren't scared to step in front and make sure that you don't get into anything stupid. I hear that. Okay.
But I agree with that. They need mentors to show them how to do things right.
Yeah.
But bro, we got to quit making excuses for him. You're a grown man in the NBA or grown man in the NFL, or you're a grown man in the professional sport or in the entertainment world. When are you going to take some accountability not to make these mistakes? I'm all for partying and having a good time, enjoying yourselves. But when it comes to the point where you might possibly hurt yourself or hurt somebody else and cut the bag off,
Mm.
you need to figure it out and take
Mm.
some accountability to be around a circle that's going to protect you
Yeah.
and protect you from yourself, protect you from them situations, and quit making excuses that oh they're too young or not. No. You are the age of 18, 19, 20 years old. You know you. It's been since we've been kids. Don't drink and drive. Mad. Mothers against drunk driving. Don't drink and drive. We've
Just so
been
you
hearing
know.
that. We've been hearing that for years.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that all of a sudden you get to the point where you're 21 and you think you can drive in the club? You're in the club. I can just drink and drive. No, let's quit it, man. You need to stop because you're hurting not only yourself, but so you can possibly hurt somebody else. And we need to quit making excuses. We do really need to stop making excuses for these young men. They need to be held accountable and just do the right thing. And my thing is like, if he's not doing the right thing, where's your surrounding circle to make sure you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. There need to be some onus and some responsibility on the
Yeah.
folks around you. I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, where's Uncle Charlie? I need Uncle Charlie with me rolling with me when I go to the club, so he makes sure I get there and I'm straight.
I
You know?
love it. I love it. I love it. All right, but let's talk about this right here. I was just talking about birthdays. Unfortunately, we're gonna wish this young lady happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
And unfortunately, she's in the wrong place. Anyways, Brittany Griner just turned 32. She is still in that Russian detention center for over 243 days. She celebrated her 32nd birthday in her cell. Right, she gets to. It was interesting to see exactly kind of what the conditions are. She gets 1 hour per day of sunlight, exercise, whatever, going outside and stretching. And you got to think about it too. As tall as she is, I'm just kind of thinking of the conditions. Yeah, she's in prison. It's not supposed to be dope. It's not supposed to be great, but there's just got to be extenuating circumstances just for someone and of her build to be in a cell. And apparently in her cell, she's got two other cellmates as well. So it's just unfortunate. On her birthday, I know the Warriors tried to do something. I think Steph Curry said something while they were getting their rings. But again,
Mm-hmm.
this is just unfortunate that this woman is still locked up without any movement in the case. I know she's got a hearing coming up next week, I believe. But again, no movement on
Yeah.
the case, and to celebrate your birthday in a foreign jail like this is just terrible.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because her hearing next week is going to be what does she go to the penitentiary?
Yeah,
like a penitentiary facilities and not because right now she's in a holding facilities.
Mm-hmm.
The hearing is the appeal to make sure she stays in this holding facility, not a penitentiary facilities, because at that point it'd be a lot more dangerous for her, and the conditions are a lot worse than what she's already in now. That's the first part. The crazy part, man, is I was watching ESPN. I don't mean to get her no love, but I'm gonna have to give him some shot because I watched when they reported on her birthday and the situation she's in. They don't, man. The expert that they had on there, and I can't remember his name, but he was saying she will not get out unless the U.S. make a deal. She's not in a position to get herself out of the prison, and Russian jail is not they're not traditionally into letting prisoners go without doing their time.
Okay.
Regardless if you're American, something like that. So the guy was saying, I can't remember his name. He was just saying that, it's unfortunate that she's not going to get out. She's not. And if it's not a political move, he's not going to get out because right now the current climate in Russia, no matter how much NBA players are speaking about it, no matter how much all these things are doing about it, one comes down to political power situations and money. And right now, even though Brittany Griner's not in a political position, she's a public figure in the United States, and we are not in good terms with Russia. So as far as he was concerned, or his opinions was, she's not getting out. There's no reason to let her out. What is the reason to let her out for?
Crazy.
In their opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, man, that's, if we look at it from that standpoint, it's like, it's crazy. This young lady's about to spend 10 years of her life behind prison over some cannabis oil.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't even have any. I'm rarely silent, right? I'm rarely silent, but it just I can't fathom the time is not meeting the crime. All of those statements, right? It's just really unfortunate. Hopefully they do right. Someone does right. I'm trying to look at the glass somewhat half
I hope
full.
so, but I mean, I think I mean from hearing that story, and I hate to say it, my personal belief.
Yeah.
We'll be reading about Brittany Griner getting released in maybe 3 or 4 years, 5 years from now. You know, she's finally been released. They finally worked something out to get her released. And it's just unfortunate, man. I mean, I think she was a role model. I'm sure there are a lot of young ladies in the WNBA, and I think she's did. She's obviously was, I think, a prominent figure in the LGBT. I don't even want to say it. The LGBTQ. I don't even know the whole letter about, but that community. I'm sure she was a prominent figure.
Yeah.
Definitely a face of that figure. You know, her wife has been sticking by her side.
Yeah.
And trying to be encouraging and trying to get it out. But I mean,
making sure that folks don't forget, right? Making sure that folks don't forget.
And let's be all honest in this situation. Our political platform has failed us in releasing her. They failed. We can say what we want. They failed because I am a true believer. That was LeBron James. He'd have been already home.
He'd have been out 2 days afterward.
You're right. He'd have been already. He'd have been already home. If it was if it was George Clooney, an actor, would have already been home. Already been home. You know. I believe
Kevin over there talking about it's a different world, different country. People forget when you leave the U.S. different countries play by different rules, and that's absolutely the truth. And
that is
when there's strife between the two right now, these two superpowers.
Yep.
Listen, you know we don't have to get into the political conversations of it, but what Kevin has just said right there, that is 100% on point right now. Not a good time to be over there.
But my only comment with Kevin thing is that we also know there's always that wild card, right? That trump card that kind of they get out of jail free card that we have from every country, especially for the United States, of the people that really want to get out.
Yeah,
I think that could have been played, but then again, do we play it on a female basketball player? You know that you know. I'm just being real.
Is this battle worth? You know, which battle award do you want to fight? Yeah. Okay, and
do we want to give our get out of jail free card in Russia to a WNBA player?
Goodness gracious, that's hitting them right there.
I'm being completely honest, and I don't mean to sound insensitive because I don't want to be, but if we look at it from the greater schemes of things, I believe that's what they're saying. Do we want to really use it for that? And I think the answer for them is no. In our political powers that be, I think they're saying no. We're not going to use it. We're going to kind of let this play out and figure it out and hope for the best, right? Hope for the best. But I believe that situation, if it was somebody else, that it was an entertainer that was very prominent, a Tom Hanks, like I said, a LeBron James was such a powerful figure, a George Clooney. If it was somebody like that was in that situation, bro, I think they would have been out minutes.
Yeah,
wouldn't have been a charge.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. It would have been sweat.
And it's sad it has to happen that way. So forgive me. Forgive me if I sound insensitive. I don't mean to be.
No, I mean you're just being kind of unfortunately a realist in the situation. And hopefully we can be deemed wrong, or hopefully this will turn somewhat positive. But again, it's been almost a full year, and nothing has really happened. So, all right, we'll stay on it. We'll stay on it. No one else has seemed to want to talk. We talked about it day zero when nobody else wanted to talk about it. But we were talking free Britney before the pins were out there and before the T-shirts. So again, there you go with that. Justin is coming through with some heart. He says, like everything else in our society now, we get angry about it for a couple of weeks and then we forget about it. Let that marinate right there, right? We get all excited, we get mad, we get loud and boisterous. We start tweeting, we start talking all this, and then I want change, I want this, I want that, and then we forget about it. Go back
to regular routine, right? Go back to the regular routine. So we don't do anything. We don't do very much. I believe like what he said. We have a lot of lip service as far as the uproar is concerned.
We gonna fix that. We gonna fix that.
You know, we don't have a lot of action. So
we gonna have action. We gonna you come to
TBLC.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you was talking about us. Man, let me play this little call to action. We gonna have some action.
Yeah.
See, I got to remember too to stop pushing extra buttons. I get excited when we start getting into it. Hey, Dad, appreciate you. He's talking about that's real talk. But listen, folks, yeah, every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, this is what we do. Team No Sleep, talking about the social impact of sport. Montel and I, we get into it, and we love the engagement with the community. If you like what we talk about, tell somebody. Come back next week. Hold on, I think I'm traveling next week. I think your boy in Mazatlan next week. I'm gonna
Oh,
be yes sir. No,
yeah,
don't.
okay.
Hey, even though I'm not gonna be here, don't try to come to the house because don't do it, folks. Yeah, because I got some. Yeah, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let me stop. Let me go and get focused. I'm looking at these Mavericks and these Suns though.
Uh-huh.
I'm a Luka fan, man. Man, I just because Luka just a dog. I'm a Luka just will shoot at you, shoot from half court, and just laugh at you,
Mm-hmm.
and especially against Phoenix, right? So I'm watching it now, 32-24. Okay, that's the only time I gave out a score, but
Yeah.
we'll see how this works out, man. Luka's doing his thing, and I'm happy basketball is back. I love my baseball. You know, I love my baseball. I did not
Mm-hmm.
watch. I texted you too. I did not watch all 6 hours of that one particular game.
Yeah.
I watched a couple hours and I fell asleep, woke up, then came back. But I'm liking the way even the baseball season, the playoffs are winding down.
Yep. Shout
I
out to
got
the Padres.
yeah,
Shout out to the
Padres
Padres.
trying to make some noise. I got some diehard Dodger fans, and I left them alone. I didn't say nothing
I'm
to
not.
them.
I'm not.
See, there he go. There he go, man. He gonna mess around and get us.
Hey man, the boys in blue got beat like black and blue. That's what they
Got,
have.
I'm liking what I like what Seattle did. I like what the Mariners did. That was a great
Mm-hmm.
run. Yankees have to win because it's been too long. I love
Mm-hmm.
what the Padres are doing. I really am. I'm sorry for them Braves. The Braves were trying. I got some couple of partners that are diehard Braves fans, and man, but who I'm rooting for again,
Mm-hmm.
not for the team. You know who I root for. I root for coaches and individual players. I'm rooting for Dusty Baker and them Houston Astros. I just want
Oh
Dusty.
man.
I just want Dusty to get one
Yeah.
more. Hey,
Nah,
Tony, right there.
nah,
See,
man.
I just I
I'm
want
holding
Dusty
down
to get one more.
I'm holding out California. We need the Padres to get us one out there, get us
See,
one down here in Southern Cal real quick, so we can have one more. Let that brown and yellow marinate on everybody for a
no,
minute
next year.
and get us a dub. And we need one. I mean, I don't think they've ever won the World Series. It'd
No,
be nice to have a
y'all
close
haven't
one.
y'all haven't been able to get to the mountaintop. Y'all
Yeah,
been over
it's all right,
across
man.
the river,
Don't
but you
hate.
haven't gotten up there.
Don't hate. Where's your team at?
I
Where they at?
why you messing with show's
Yeah,
over?
yeah.
Show's over. Okay, we gonna go ahead and end right there. That's it right there. But we gonna keep tracking that, folks. Holla at us. Montel, take us home, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. God bless everybody. Hope everybody has a wonderful week. Finish off strong. And like I said, please be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. Let's get to that point where we're going to be all right.
Love it. All right, y'all. Be good to yourself. We see you next time. We out.